Well, hello there. Welcome to Real WW Talk. I'm Candice.
And I'm Rikki.
And Erin is taking care of a few things this holiday season. So she's not here tonight, but super excited, Rikki, because this has become kind of like a tradition for us to kind of do some Q&A.
Yeah, it's fun
Yes.
to continue the trend and to do it
I,
again this year.
I love it because this is our time to hear from you all in the community. So we put out a question on our Facebook page saying, like, what do you want to know? What do you want to talk about? So we asked you, and you all came through with some really, really interesting questions this year. So we're going to answer the best we can. We also like to always remind you, because some of you all ask questions specific to the program. We do not work for Weight Watchers. We are members just like you are on this journey, just kind of figuring it all out. So if you don't hear your question highlighted tonight, remember, you can always reach out to a coach. You can reach out to the support team if it's something specific to your plan. Because again, we don't have any insider knowledge that you don't have. So we don't want to steer you wrong. But yeah. So Rikki, I'll kind of hand it off to you. I know we kind of put it into a format so we wouldn't miss anything.
Yeah, let's get started. So the first question is from Donna on Facebook, and she asked, "How can I stop seeing myself as fat? I'm very proud of losing almost 100 pounds and staying at Lifetime for 3.5 years." It's incredible, Donna.
Incredible.
I still go up and down 10 to 15 pounds, especially on vacations. I'm currently 135, which is 15 under her goal, way less than I did in high school, and I'm 64. But when I saw myself in a recent photo, my first feeling was disappointment. I didn't look as thin as I thought I looked. I'm only 5 feet, so I feel like I'll never look quote unquote thin unless I weigh a lot less. I'm staying where I am and hoping my brain and self-esteem catch up. That's a great question, Donna. Thank you
Totally
for sharing all of those personal details. That we appreciate you sharing that and putting your heart out there. Candice, what do you think?
A lot of the things that I resonate a lot with what she's saying. I think for me, I've had to go through a process of letting go of old Candice as like a benchmark, of where I used to be or what I used to look like. You know what I mean? Because not only have you lost a lot of weight, you've gone through a lot of life. And that's hard to do, but I'm first off is focusing on the wins of what you have and finding ways to embrace. I feel that's what I'm focused on, is how do I embrace where I am now, even if it feels a little bit uncomfortable, because usually that uncomfortableness for me starts when I'm comparing it to who I felt I used to be. Like when I was in a smaller body or younger.
Yeah.
And I'm just not going to be that person anymore, and so changing the standard for me, like my standard isn't that. My standard is, where I am now at this stage of life, and embracing that. What about you?
Well, I can relate a lot to this, to looking in the mirror and feeling like, man, thought I looked good. I lost a few pounds. I thought I looked good, and I still have, for me, a long way to go. But, for Donna, I feel like there's the expectations on ourselves are sometimes so much harder and so much heavier than what even our doctors or other people like have put on us. So I would say, the weight is a number, and it's easy to say that, and I don't want to be dismissive, but like I would say maybe like, are there other metrics like being able to walk up a flight of stairs? I'm sure have you lifted anything that's 100 pounds lately, or even 50 pounds, and appreciated that, like, this is no longer on your body, you're no longer carrying that, and the weight and like the health benefits that come along with that. I know that's like a temporary reminder that may not be at the forefront of your mind every day, but I think there's so many wins that it's gotta flip to be at the forefront. And I don't know exactly the answer as to how to do that. I do remember sometimes too, like looking at pictures of myself and knowing that I thought I was so fat. Then, and I'm like, I wish I was as fat as I thought I was now, as I was then, because it was like a 50-pound difference or whatever it was, but I gained that weight back. And I think staying in the moment is the biggest thing that helps me to realize I have a long way to go. I'm still losing weight, but I appreciate that I'm not where I used to be in that way.
And I think to your point, I think photos can just be triggering because it's just freezing a moment. It's not like reality. It's a moment in time.
Right.
And I think that also goes to the point that weight loss in general, like just because you lost 100 pounds or even the 50 or whatever we've done, it doesn't automatically update your self-image. Weight loss doesn't mean self-image automatically updated too. That takes
Right.
like a while to catch up. And that's why maybe even, changing, and I'm speaking to myself too, maybe changing the goal from like admiration of your body to maybe being neutral.
Yeah.
Like, what if the goal was just, I don't hate my body. I might not be like, oh my gosh, this is the best thing ever, but I'm just kind of neutral about it. Like I'm not happy. I'm not sad. I'm just okay. Then that as a starting point, because I think we want to go straight from having hated our bodies for so long to thinking we have to go to the other extreme of then being like, it's the best thing ever. Sometimes that's a process.
Yeah. And one of my favorite activities that my therapist has given me in this past year has been to ask friends to write, to answer this question, write it down, whether it be through a text message or, a letter. Like, what do you wish I knew about me that I don't seem to know about myself? Or like, what, it's beyond the question of like, what do you like about me as a friend, but like, what do you really think it's important that I know about myself? And it's a scary question to ask because I was like, oh my gosh, they're going to say like, you need to be nicer or you need to do this or that. But I got really flattering and really things that showed my friends were aware of who I was as a person, but could see my blind spots. I think that was how she phrased it. Actually, it was like, what are your blind spots? And I think doing things like that can kind of target what you're talking about, Candice, like that confidence that is so hard to find when we were used to just focusing on our image or the number on the scale.
Yeah, because weight is just it's like a cultural construct. It's not a moral achievement. Like It's not like your morality and who you are as a person isn't tied to necessarily your weight or like what you look like, as much as this culture says that it is. It's just not, and like you said, having people who can reinforce those things about you to show you that yes, not only do you have value, but you're like a really and it has nothing to do with this. So that's a good question. Thank you so much. I really appreciate her. Again, congratulations, Donna, on your weight loss. We're super happy for you. And I know she got some other feedback from people in the community. If you're looking to find, just to plug, if you'd like to join our Facebook group, just go to Facebook, search Real WW Talk, answer a few questions so we can make sure you're not a bot. And you can come on in and help engage with people like Donna. So thank you again. Okay, next question. Michelle, who also on Facebook, asked, what is something you do to get your head back in the game? I've been on this journey a long time and the excitement is gone. I restart at least once a week, don't track much, and my food choices aren't Weight Watchers friendly. I say I want to lose weight, but the follow through just isn't there. Do I get that? Any suggestions you've tried would be great as I head into the new year. What do you think, Rikki?
It's a great question. I mean, I think that this plan can get monotonous. I think it can be, really challenging to stay in it when you haven't experienced any changes in a while, or, you're eating the same things, or even just like the idea of like, I don't want to plan another chicken and broccoli and rice meal.
Chicken and broccoli, yes.
Like I've been doing it the past 20, 30 years and I'm tired of it. So I think changing things up is helpful, and relying on support network of like, hey, can we share some recipes? What have you been trying that's really good? Or can we go for a walk together? Or even just being honest about like, I haven't really dived into the new plan and the changes and everything with that, but I noticed that there is some aspect of like, are you on vacation? Are you like being that whole like toggle to vacation mode? It's like, who am I kidding? I've been on vacation mode for a little while now, but to be able to like honestly track that, say, hey, I'm taking a break, and knowing that your tracker is set to that and that you need to go in and unset it. I'm curious if that kind of mindset would help with just knowing like, okay, I know I'm going on this trip, or I'm, celebrating the holidays. And for me, my choice is to, I might gain 5 pounds and I'm okay with that, but I'm going to say I'm on vacation mode and I'm going to enjoy myself, whatever that means. And then I'm going to get back to business. And I don't think that's a great practice on a like weekly basis necessarily, but I think being honest about like commitment and what I can actually commit to in this season is helpful.
Yeah. And you're speaking my language as someone who is recovering from perfectionism. What I'm learning, motivation, truthfully, it's kind of overrated. We talked about that. It's more about, to me, the systems that we put in place to kind of help us. Like if we're relying on motivation, like we're always going to fail, like because it wanes. Like this time of year, I'm not motivated to do anything. But if that's not your reason for why you do something or don't do something, I think, and also when she was talking about weekly restarts, that's something that if you look at my planners and stuff, why do I have so many journals? Because I want to restart. Because I want it perfect. It's perfectionism that's like in hiding. So I would say, what my therapist would tell me, stop restarting. The best way is to just stop restarting and to do it imperfectly. Mm-hmm. As hard as that is, like that sounds so easy, but it's like practicing, it's building a muscle of doing it imperfectly.
Yeah.
And then then there's no restarting because you didn't stop. It just wasn't the perfect that you thought it should be because you're running from that feeling of, it's like, okay, so we're talking about, we're planners, right? Mm-hmm. I want it to look exactly right. Like I don't want to, if I write in it and I make a mistake with how I made my N, I'm like, the planner's done. Doesn't look the way it's supposed to look. I need a whole new planner. Ridiculous. Mm. Same thing with the weight loss. I didn't eat a fruit today and I was supposed to have 3 fruits and I only had 2. Done. Forget this week. That's dumb. But in our minds, we kind of fight past that. Yeah. So I don't know. I just think if we pick one thing, like one boring habit in the week, boring. I'm talking like I'm just going to park a little bit further away from the door every day this week and do it and start to build that. Mm-hmm. I wonder if that could help because that's what I'm looking to try to do. I'm not focused on 8 glasses of water. I'm going to drink 2 today. Mm-hmm. Boring, dumb. I hit 2 and then go crazy about it.
Yeah.
Just to give myself that little bit of an edge. What do you think?
I think that's a great idea. I mean, it reminds me a lot of Atomic Habits. I know we've talked about that a lot, but it reminds me a lot of that because I think, when you do celebrate those things, it's not like you're just trying to like belittle yourself or like, patronize yourself. It's just like you realize that you need wins where you can get them. And that there's no such thing as a small win when it comes to like achieving your goals and really building your patterns and routines, because a routine is a routine, whether it's a 100-week long routine or 100 days or whatever it is. A routine is a routine. And I think just getting to that point where it's consistent, like you said, that consistency overpowers the like amazing. I can do an amazing 2-hour long, like CrossFit workout one time. And it means, it's not that it means nothing, but doing a 20-minute CrossFit every day or every other day for a year is where you're going to see the results.
Yeah. So again, just sometimes the most powerful thing that we can do is stay. Mm-hmm. Is just stay when it's boring, stay when it's imperfect. Just stay. Then there's no restarting. Yay. But thank you for your question.
Yes, that was a good one.
Yeah.
All right. So I've got one from Angie. This one's from Facebook. And she asked a non-food related question. So what's your favorite thing to do together as wellness seeking friends? Do you prefer baking bread together, having coffee, going on walks, or something else? How do you enjoy each other's company when you're not recording the podcast?
Well, recently it was doing all of that. Yes. We broke bread. We went to church. We did some walking. Mm-hmm. Honestly, truthfully, you all see it. Like we share on our social media and do the things. I'll speak for myself. I know that I love that Erin loves to cook. and we love to partake of the things that she cooks. And so that's usually a lot of the things that we're doing. But I would say, especially as a wellness brand, well, the people who are focused on wellness a lot, we're aware of what each other is trying to do. So like Erin has a lot of kind of like gluten and kind of like food intolerances. So it's nice to be able to kind of think about that, like when we're doing things. So we want to make sure that we're taking that into consideration, or we'll say, can we walk somewhere together? Doing the step bets, like that's always been a lot of fun. But I think that it's informed how I have been a friend, not just with these ladies, but with others too, because I think that it feels like it's always centering around food, but we've done a pretty good job of finding things other than just food to be ways to be relational. And so, again, Rikki's our shopper, so she'll show us around, because we did the Christmas little village. Where was that in DC?
They were holiday markets at DuPont Circle. So after church, and it was kind of impromptu because we were going to do the outlets. And I said, hey guys, I need to go buy this vendor. Like, do you mind if you guys were just like, yeah,
oh darn, no. Rikki finds all the cute places, so you're never going to be disappointed. No.
Yeah, we went to a local like Treasure, which is a bookstore in DC called Kramer's, and that's also in DuPont. And we got to get, just little knickknacks and books and, walk around, warm up. Yeah. But, that kind of thing, that we eventually did have a meal, but like that kind of thing was really fun. And the meal we had that we were so excited to have was like
salads. Oh, I gotta get my chicken avocado salad from, what is it? Not Sweet Green.
Flower
Child. They have the best chicken. Rikki found it first, and then I took hers, and then Erin can do all of her little mix-ins with no gluten and stuff there, because their menu is like so customizable.
Yes.
If you are local, I don't even know if
it's a chain. It's a chain too. Yeah.
So good. Flower Child.
Yes. Very amenable.
Not sponsored, but we'll take it.
We will. Very amenable to allergies and intolerances. So we recommend them. Yeah, I think, to answer that question, I think we do, just find a lot of things that we enjoy doing together. I know we've seen movies together too. I know we're all fans of theater. So seeing a show is another thing that's probably on the horizon for us.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But I'd say, honestly, the truth, we laugh a lot. And I think that that's important for wellness. Like I said, I think that when we're together, we really do generally find things to laugh about, whether it be that Rikki doesn't remember movies from 5, because she's the youngest of us. She's the little young buck. So, but we're always, and the way that we're there for each other, you all have seen that too. Like that to me is a part of what do we enjoy doing. We enjoy laughing about silly things and sharing really deep things and crying. And then hugging, and then watching Wicked, and then watching a Broadway show.
Right.
Rinse and repeat.
Exactly.
Well, like I said, I like to do, but I really do also think that now that we're always just trying to win a step bet. We're like, let's walk somewhere while we're crying, okay?
Right. And if a Disney trip happens to align with a step bet, then it's bold.
And Erin, we have to get Erin to Disney because she wasn't able to go the last time. So we're just like, it's going to happen because Rikki, you see the ears behind Rikki. So like she has some for all of us. So we're ready to go. Okay. Next one is Patty. Patty on Facebook asked, you don't really talk about Weight Watchers very often anymore. Do you still attend meetings or use the app? If not, what plan or plans are you currently using to support your journey?
It's a great question. I am still on Weight Watchers. I have thought about, whether or not I want to just, keep doing it, or, just knowing that there is a intentionality that needs to exist when doing it. And when I've been doing this off and on since I was 16, it's kind of like, why am I here? I have to reestablish my why, but I have decided not to quit and to keep going and just see it through. It's been slow. I'm still down about 30 pounds, which I'm very happy about. And I still have ways to go.
Lifelong journey. Yes.
Yes. I personally do not attend meetings, but when I did the whole, we know this that there's ways that you can go in and kind of just speak to one of the help people when you're in the app and talk to them about kind of I don't want to say negotiating, but
Yeah.
getting the price at a more fair rate. And when I did that this time, I also got meetings included in at the rate that I had last year. So without the meetings. So it was a nice deal. So I have not prioritized going to a meeting. I think it just has not been a habit, honestly. But I'd like to attend meetings again.
Mm-hmm.
And that's my plan for this coming year to at least make that a habit as well. Because I think that accountability and that support can be really encouraging.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, and just as a general statement, we've been doing this podcast for 5 now plus years. So when you say that we're not really kind of talking about Weight Watchers as much, I think it's just more so, we may have started off with like, oh, I lost this much, or I did this week. I think we've kind of morphed more into just kind of wanting to just talk about all of the aspects of it. So I too am still on Weight Watchers. I know Erin is doing a little bit more with the calorie counting. And that's one thing that's really good. And it's great that Weight Watchers has included the calories and stuff for some people, being able to look. Because I think with some of the things that she's been dealing with, it's good for her to be able to see all the different macro tracking. I just find points to be easier for me. But in addition to it, I have been, continuing with my exercise. I do the virtual meetings a lot. I like it as background noise, especially while I am here at home with Isaiah or doing some business stuff. I like to have it playing in the background. I do miss going in person because, we all started in person, but different season of life, not being able to go, and then they switched the location. So we'll always love the in-person people. But no, I don't go to the meetings in person. Let's see, what else did you ask? What are your plans? So the plan, I'm still using the app. But I don't use Connect as much. Mm-hmm. And I think it's because I have just an over use of social media, between Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all the different things. I just can't add one more thing, even though I know it's just for Weight Watchers people. Right. And I enjoy it. I just never think to look at it.
Yeah, I'm the same way. It's not at the forefront of my mind. I did see someone recently in the Facebook group comment that they wish that there was still access through the web browser.
Yeah.
And I do miss that. It brought me back to when I was at work and I was at my computer for lunch, and it was so easy. Like, yeah, most of us have our phones out at lunch, but sometimes I have a working lunch, or it's that I'm actually working. And I'm like, oh, I could take this moment to do it and not have to get out my phone and know that I might get distracted by other things. Mm-hmm. So I do miss that too.
Yeah, they've made some changes. I mean, I know that where the industry and stuff is trending, but there's some things that there used to be the message board. Like I used to be really big on the Weight Watchers, but remember they had a message board?
No.
Oh, see, now that maybe I'm dating myself. This was years and years ago, but Weight Watchers had a message board that I was like a very active user on. Like that was my connection because I like doing the typing, and I guess it's kind of similar to Connect, but not really. Okay. Message boards used to be all the rage, before we kind of went into like everything has to be video and in person. But I'm dating myself. But no, so yes, Rikki and I are both still on Weight Watchers. We're also Pelotoners and counting points. Erin is doing mainly, I would think, more calorie tracking right now, macros. But we're also here.
Mm-hmm. We are.
All right.
All right. So we have a question from Lois. This is also from Facebook. She asks, is there a food sometimes referred to as bad that you refuse to, 1, give up completely, or 2, count points on? For example, I never gave up or counted points on half and half in my coffee. What do you think, Candice?
I would say that once I start to do that, it leads to rebellion for me. Like rigid rules backfire for me. So I don't have things that I have kind of necessarily, and I'm trying to remember, she said that rules of what I can't have or what I can.
That things that I call quote unquote bad, but I refuse to give up or count points on. So not both, but
I would say if I choose to give up something, it's only because of how I feel I can control myself with it.
Mhm.
Not because, like, not forever. I might put parameters on, like, I might not have it in the house, but I'll have it at
Mhm.
somebody else's house. Does that make sense? So,
Yeah.
like, for me, I love those and these little chocolate square things. It's like a cookie, but it has like a little bit of like chocolate or caramel in the middle. So good. I cannot just have just one. I can't,
Mhm.
but at someone else's house, I can. So
Mhm.
I don't want to label it bad. It's just not something that I can personally control. So
Yeah.
I will put those kind of like limitations on it. And when you asked about counting the points, I was thinking about smoothies. Like I think I told you, like some people aren't counting points for their smoothies because they don't like the idea that you have to for like fruits and veggies. Um, I tend to be a very big rules follower with stuff like that. I'm the one who's not going to be like, no, that's zero. I'd rather like
Mhm.
count it and have it go over and then work on how that's working with my mental. Like,
Mhm.
oh, I went over. What does that mean? Versus like not counting it because I don't know. That's the purist in me with the program.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But what about you?
So I don't know. I feel like I'm similar in some ways. When I'm consistently tracking, I try to track everything, but things like a second cup of coffee,
Yeah.
it's not that I think it's bad. It's more that it's maybe an afterthought type thing, or like a hot chocolate or so, like beverages, I think. Not necessarily a smoothie, but like those hot beverages, things like that, I think are harder for me to um give up those points on, even if I've had it, or like admit that it's not, I can't just lump it into the first coffee of the day.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I do have foods that I've had in the past where I've been like, this is not a good idea for me to have in the house. I'm a lot better with that now. But I still don't necessarily buy it on a regular basis just for the, if
Yeah.
I want it, I'll buy like a candy bar or something that in a smaller quantity that I can have,
Yeah.
in one sitting and then it's gone. But I don't like to have a list of things that are necessarily like forbidden because I think that does lead to deprivation.
It triggers. I'm telling you. It's like even if you made it, I need it to be a trigger for like broccoli or something. Like you can't have any broccoli, no cauliflower today. Absolutely not.
Oh, salad.
No salad, none. It's off limits. I don't know if it's gonna work. But
No,
but
yeah.
knowing that about myself, that's something that was a trigger throughout my journey. And it's something that I had to work on with my parents because I think that caused a lot of my issues with food when it's like, again, good or bad. Like you can't have that just made me
Mm,
either, to really hoard it, hide
mm,
it. It's not that I didn't have it, I just hid it.
yeah.
But now giving myself that permission, but putting limitations on it that make it a little difficult for me to be excessive with it is my middle ground.
Hmm.
I'm not saying no, but
Yeah.
I can only eat it at Rikki's house, or I can only eat it at um in the car or on
Mhm.
vacation, whatever it is.
Yeah,
So
that makes sense.
I love these questions. Thank you all so
Yeah.
much for sending this in. Honestly, like this is, it's a wonderful way to kind of like end out the year. We can't have only a few more days left in
Oh my goodness.
2025. Like I can't believe that it's been a wonderful year, but it's been a really
Mhm.
kind of hectic time. And we would love to invite you to connect with us, like I said, in the Facebook group or on any of our social media. We have Instagram where you can search for Real WW Talk. You can also send us an email. If you didn't hear your question, if you have additional questions, we're going to be doing this again. So send it in. You can send us an email at realwwtalk@gmail.com. We also have a way for you to send us what we call friend mail, but it's actually like a fan mail type of feature through our streaming service. So if you want to send us fan mail, we cannot respond, but we can see it and we will find a way to maybe shout you out. Did I miss anything else, Rikki?
You can find us on Instagram as well. And then if you want to see our faces, you can see us on YouTube.
Come see us
And
on YouTube.
yes, and then we're streaming as far as listening to us when you're out for a walk or a run on any platform where you like to enjoy podcasts.
And it's weird to say, but I guess we will see you in the new year because
Yes,
this
Happy
is our
New
last
Year.
episode of 2025. Thank you for rocking it out with us this year. We've had a lot of ups and downs. You've seen me and Rikki a whole lot. And now that we have Erin back, like I said, the trio is complete, but we are so grateful for our community, for all of you. Make sure that you're posting, be kind to each other. And
Yes.
yeah, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
We'll see you next week. Bye.